Before this video starts, I just want to give a massive shout out to all my channel members. If you want to receive a shout out, then become a channel member today and you'll be shown on screen like all these other channel members here. Anyways, enjoy the video. In version 14.4, a brand new collab was added to the game. This being a collab with Sonic the Hedgehog. One of the units added was the Guardian and the Master Emerald himself, Knuckles the Echidna. He may have the strength and skills to be entrusted as Guardian of the Master Emerald, but how does his strength transfer over into the world of the Battle Cats? Well, this video will discuss what Knuckles' abilities are and if they're good or not. The footage in this video is of a level 40 Knuckles. Knuckles as an Uber has quite a few things in his kit that make him rather interesting. First, his general stats. Knuckles is fairly tanky, sporting a beefy health stat of 76,500 at level 30. Knuckles has a multi-hit attack that's split into 3, with each individual hit dealing 4,760 damage for a total of 14,280 damage if all 3 hits connect. This also gives Knuckles a fairly decent 7.9k DPS at level 30 if all 3 hits connect. Knuckles is fairly speedy with the speed stat of 35. He is also strong against red and zombies, along with having both wave and weaken immunity. Knuckles is also fairly cheap for an Uber, only costing 2,550 to send out, and has a range stat of 350 and an Omni Strike of negative 100 to 400. Knuckles is a unit that is best used as a way to pile on damage over time instead of getting large amounts of burst damage. This is best highlighted by his rather low damage per hit but fairly high DPS. As mentioned earlier, Knuckles is strong against both red and zombie enemies. This bumps his effective stats to 191,000 health, dealing an effective 25,000 damage with 14,000 DPS at level 30. This means Knuckles can shrug off a ton of hits for a long while against hordes of red and zombie enemies. His Omni Strike is rather interesting, as it allows him to snipe enemies that are just outside of his standing range's reach. While it isn't too helpful against red enemies, against zombies, this slight Omni Strike is extremely helpful. A large majority of zombie enemies sit within a range of 130 to 180, allowing him to hit most frontline zombies. Even for higher range zombies like Lord Gravy, if you're able to slightly nudge Knuckles forward, the Omni Strike will usually be enough to start attacking them. Knuckles doesn't do the best against enemies with high knockback counts or enemies that can easily stun Knuckles, as his damage is split into a multi-hit that can cause him to miss out on dealing his full damage output. This is mainly an issue against enemies such as Red Energy, Miss Haka, JJ Jackrabbit, and any incoming zombies that are burrowing. However, a lot of red and zombie enemies are rather beefy with low knockback counts. This means that Knuckles can easily score a ton of damage against the likes of Boar, Lord Gravy, Cappy, and Zamel. Knuckles' bulk also allows him to easily wear down the likes of Dabu and Hanya without the fear of dying. Speaking of Hanya, his weakened immunity allows him to not have his solid offensive power disrupted, allowing for complete, uninterrupted damage against her. However, outside of Hanya, his weakened immunity is mainly meant to help in mixed stages. He also has wave immunity, which allows him to be a very viable unit against Berserkori and Toucan. However, his wave immunity doesn't help all that much with DNL due to Knuckles not being able to outrange the horse, leaving him very susceptible to its freezing, cutting down Knuckles' ability to deal good damage output, as well as the general enemies that surround DNL. One other enemy Knuckles may struggle with is against Cadaver Bear, but only at higher magnifications, since a lot of the time, Knuckles will just have enough bulk to tank Cadaver Bear. One last interesting thing about Knuckles' kit is his rather cheap cost of 2,550. For Uber standards, this is extremely cheap. This gives Knuckles an edge in a lot of cash-tight stages. While cash is usually never a problem in red stages, it can be in zombie stages, where a lot of zombie enemies give a rather poor cash handout. This makes Knuckles a very good budget option if you're running into cash problems in a stage. So, how good is Knuckles? Well, Knuckles' abilities allow him to be a rather good bruiser unit thanks to his great bulk and rather high DPS. Being a bruiser, however, means that he won't be able to kill enemies all that fast, but his overtime damage can easily wear down many zombie and red enemies. However, outside his matchup against his 2 targets, he's okay thanks to his solid DPS, but probably wouldn't be the best option to use most of the time. His immunities help with mixed stages, as he doesn't really get to take advantage of them in red zombie heavy stages. Red or zombie heavy stages are the best stages to get a lot of value out of him. With all that said, I want to thank you for watching this analysis of Knuckles the Echidna. If you thought this insight was interesting, then be sure to give it a like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy Battle Cats content, and comment down below your thoughts on Knuckles. I'd love to hear what you all think of them. Also, shout out to the following channel members: Dr. Deadly, Gamet, Ian Dean, Aribarel, Ninja Stars, Tentacle Gaming, Virus El Perro, Just a Shark, Potato King, Gross Cat the Best, and Chorus for being silver members or higher. If you want to receive a shoutout like these channel members here, then become a silver member or higher today. Becoming a channel member supports what I do in a way that helps keep the lights on, and channel members receive an exclusive role on my Discord server, for which you can find a link to in the description down below. Anyways, I hope you have a wonderful day.